Hey there, thanks for tuning in. In case you haven't heard, France won the World Cup soccer. Fantastic accomplishment given this is one of the great sporting prizes in the world of sport. And clearly they were the better team. They had better players with better skill. They were faster, they were more agile, they had more coordination, they had quicker reflexes, they had better strategy and tactics. And so big congratulations, huge congratulations to the players, the coach, the management, and the France supporters and France nation as a whole. Now, clearly, every other team also put in that great effort and developing their players and being skillful and having good tactics and strategy and good plays and all that. So why did France really win? So I'm going to give you the insider's perspective from my perspective, and I believe I'm the only one talking about this in the world right now as to why France won. So you're very lucky to hear about this. And I'm going to break it down in terms of deserving, because when we see someone or some team win something or some business accomplish something, then we generally say, well, that's well deserved. And that's very, very true, because they obviously put in the effort to accomplish that goal. But also, as I said, other teams and other businesses are also putting in that effort. And what separates them? Well, generally, I look at this deserving as deserving power. And this is a deeper, more powerful level of deserving. And it really comes through a deeper development of capacity and coherence and connectivity within yourself and between yourself and others. Because if we were able to actually see that amount of connectivity and coordination and coherence that was going on in the minds and the brains and the bodies of the French players compared to the other players, I'm pretty sure that we'll see a significant difference. Well, not a significant, but a better connectivity, a better coherence going on there. And this is really where the most powerful level of deserving comes from, because it gives you that greater ability to make better plays, to live that zero factor, which is the ability to have a great idea, then act on it very spontaneously. So this is what I believe enabled France to win, because they had this deserving power which came from this greater level of capacity of coherence and connectivity within themselves and between themselves. Now, I'm going to give you another example here. It's more of a business example. It's kind of an example on the opposite. It's a bit of a demise. It's not a complete demise, but it is a demise. And as you may know, there's a company called GE. It means General Electric, and it's one of the biggest companies in the world. It was part of the Dow Jones Industrial Index. It's the top 30 companies in America, but recently got delisted from that. Back in 2008, they had annual revenues of about 180 billion. And today or last year, their revenues were about 120 billion. Now, obviously, that's a decline for whatever reason. But the interesting fact here is that this company spends up to $1 billion in investing in their people, in training and education of their leaders and their people. Now, that's a lot of money, and yet there was still a demise in performance. And the reality here is it wasn't the training or the education that was the problem. It's back to my point. It's this deserving power. It's this underlying deserving power and coherence and capacity and connectivity that wasn't also being developed in the process, so that their strengths and their skills that they were learning and being trained at would work that much more effectively. And we've found, based on our experience of implementing knowledge, techniques, and technologies that actually enhance this coherence and this capacity and this connectivity within people and between people, is that is really what assures and protects achievement and progress, so that it becomes consistent. And it's by applying these, and what we've found is that our clients who have consistently worked with us and applied these techniques, technologies, and programs over the last 5, 10, 15 years that we've been working with them have had this consistent kind of increase in performance. So for example, one of our companies we started working with in 2010, they're about a $1.3 billion revenue company. Today they're a $9 billion company. 8 years later, they're like, 8 times their value. And they've consistently worked with us. The leaders have consistently believed in what we're doing and enhancing this capacity and coherence. And it's enhanced their strategy, their strengths, and their skills in the process. We have another company who started out with working at a few clients, like 4 clients, public listed clients. Today they've got over 25. They've expanded, they've got more staff, they've got their own building. And just by that consistent application of the knowledge of the techniques and technologies and processes that we work with them on, that they've gone on this really consistent growth path. We had one leader who was struggling to break even with his franchise operation, had great idea, had great people and skills and all that, but it was through this deeper development of deserving power, which comes from capacity and coherence and connectivity, that they actually have now grown to over 26 stores. They've gone IPO. So if you're all interested in a deeper discussion on this and how this can be applied to you as a leader and your team, then please reach out to us. We'd love to have a deeper discussion with you. And if you're still curious, then just ask the questions, make the comments, and happy to reply and respond to them. So in the meantime, I wish you great deserving power and that you're able to develop that so that whatever skills and strengths and strategies they have, they do work that much more effectively.